Hi everyone and welcome to part 2 of my New Year's planning and goals video. In today's video I am going to show you exactly how I plan on achieving my goals that I set in my previous video in quarter 1. So obviously I'm not setting out to achieve all of my yearly goals in one quarter, but a significant amount of them I want to get done in quarter 1. And the method that I'm going to be applying to achieve this is the 12-week year, where essentially I view the next 12 weeks as if they are a whole year. But I just thought I'd share the goals and strategies that I'm applying to achieve the goals within quarter 1. So I've started out with some defining words: travel, creativity and social media. The start date will be the 1st of January 2023, which is today for me, and then the end date will be the 30th of March. So I've got 2 rules for myself: always consistency over perfection, then also need to remember to focus on my priorities and have good time management, and that is essential to executing my plan. Have got 3 priorities. Quite honestly, I wouldn't recommend focusing on more. So my first priority will be moving and settling into my life in Sweden. So I will be moving to Sweden this year for work, and I'll be doing that quite early on in the year, so that's why it's my quarter 1 focus. I'll actually be moving at the end of January. So now to execute this priority, I have put a few different strategies in place. Strategy 1 is the pre-work to moving, like all the logistics, sorting out any paperwork, and then even things like packing, getting rid of my things. I need to renew my passport actually, that is in the process of being done at the minute. Check in for my flights, book the flights, check in for the flights and stuff like that. I've already ticked off a couple of things off this list, so we're at a great start. That obviously concerns the moving part, but also I want to settle into my life in Sweden in quarter 1. So I think a big part of that will be learning the language. I don't speak Swedish. That's just one way of putting it. I don't speak Swedish and I'm moving to Sweden. I would ideally like to get to level A2, but I want to reach some level of fluency this year. So I think A2 is a good start to aim for. I want to start out by making a language learning plan. I would also like to meet people that I can practice my Swedish with. I would also want to focus on learning the basic phrases that I need to get by day to day. Strategy 3 of me getting to settle into Sweden is getting to know the area. I think there's absolutely no point if I move to a new place and I just don't explore, and I think if I get a good hold of my surroundings, it will definitely feel a lot more like home a lot quicker, rather than me feeling like I'm in somewhere that I don't know. So I want to spend at least 1 day each week exploring and going into town. So then I am also going to spend a lot of time journaling and practicing mindfulness. I think this will be important because I'll be able to recognise my emotions and how I'm feeling, and in turn that will make it more easy to regulate them. So as I said before, I really want to focus on time management and setting up the right mechanisms in place so that I can actually achieve these goals. I'm not going to be working on all of the goals at the same time. So for weeks 1 to 4, I am going to get the pre-work done and move to Sweden. So this will really be focusing on the first strategy. Without doing these things, I just cannot move. And I'm also going to start learning Swedish, and I'm not going to do too much work with this one. I'm just going to start maybe finding some resources and setting up my learning plan, and just find some online things I can do. I know it's not the best way to learn a language, but if there's a Duolingo Swedish course, I could start that, for example, just to get the basics down. Weeks 5 to 8, I am going to continue learning Swedish, but The whole move thing is going to take a bit of a step back. You'll see in the next priority why. And then finally, from weeks 9 to 12, I'll be settling into Sweden and life in Sweden. That is when I'll be starting my new job as well. So that will really be when I'm focusing on settling into Sweden. That sort of summarises my strategy for my first priority, and we can now move on to the second one, which I am so excited for. I am going on a 4-week backpacking trip to Thailand. So I'm going to be spending all of February in Thailand, and I am super excited to do so. This priority sort of starts out similarly to Sweden, where the first strategy that I'm implementing is preparing for Thailand. So this includes things like booking flights, travel vaccinations, ordering travel cards, coming up with a rough itinerary, downloading any appropriate apps, buying any supplies I might need, putting like a first aid kit together and stuff like that. The second strategy will be booking initial accommodation for the first few days. I want to make like a rough itinerary for the first few days just so that I don't end up going there and wasting time. And then the third strategy is to document my time in Thailand. I don't know if you could call this a strategy to achieving this, but I really want to take a journal with me and document how I'm feeling and just have it as a little diary that I can look back on. And the second one is that I want to vlog the experience. For time management, so this will only really take up the first 2 months of when I'm traveling and the lead up to it. So the first 4 weeks I will be preparing to go to Thailand, so that will be the strategy 1 bits, and then weeks 5 to 8 I think I'll be traveling and executing the plan. So then my third and final priority is working on my social media growth. So this is quite a meaty one. I want to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we're actually really close. At the time I'm filming this, we're about 250 subscribers off that goal, so I think that's definitely something we can achieve in quarter 1. And to do this, I'm going to post twice a week. I'm going to interact with obviously all the comments as I always do, and with other videos as well. And I'm also going to work on my personal branding. I'm gonna look at analytics, see what works, see what doesn't work, and really focus on getting content out there for you. The second strategy is to focus on TikTok. So I don't have a specific number goal with this. I'm sort of scoping out TikTok and how it's gonna go. So in January, I'm gonna post a minimum of 31 TikToks. So that's 1 TikTok a day in January. I'm just doing a little bit of a challenge. First of all, to see what works, what doesn't work, and to see how I'm going, and also to just get myself in the flow of posting. So after January, I'm going to see what resonates, and I'm going to adjust my strategy accordingly. And yeah, and then the final thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to interact with people that post similar content and hopefully make some TikTok. I really want to start documenting my travels on Instagram, and I'm not sure if I'm going to start a new travel account or if I'm just going to start posting on my main account as if it's a travel account. So I've got some thinking to do there. At the moment, I'm leaning towards just using my main account. So I would also like to post reels about once a week. So for this year, I want to do at least one monthly self-portrait photo shoot. So obviously in quarter 1, I would be doing 3 photo shoots, and I will also use these as content. So I'll do like a TikTok, a reel. I can use the photos on my Instagram feed and stuff like that. I want to be able to reuse content across my social platforms and sort of make TikToks to go with my YouTube videos, Instagram posts to go with my YouTube videos and my TikToks, stuff like that, just so that it all sort of links together. Finally, I want to document my move to Sweden, Thailand, and my travels. I've created this sort of table for me to just track my habits, and I've got one for each week. These will change from week to week just because, as I said, there's no point in doing the exact same thing every single week. So here's just an example of what I'll be doing in week 1. I've just added some tasks in the first column, and then I've got one box for every day of the year. When I complete stuff in that category, I'll put an X, and on days where I don't do anything, I'll just put a dash. So I believe that is it for this video. And if you want to see more goal planning and that sort of thing, I've got a playlist here right for you, or somewhere on the screen. I'm not sure where it is, probably over my face. And yeah, let me know in the comments what are 3 goals that you're working towards this quarter or this year, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!